Woman, there comes a moment in every life when the ordinary begins to give way to the extraordinary. It is not because the world suddenly changes, but because something within you awakens. For too long, many women have been taught to measure themselves by their past disappointments, by the opinions of others, or by the opportunities they never received. But life does not determine your future by counting your setbacks. It determines your future by the strength of your vision and the courage of your next decision. This season is an invitation to stop expecting only what has always happened and begin preparing for possibilities that have never happened before. The greatest surprises in life often arrive after the greatest seasons of preparation. They appear when you have developed patience, character, resilience, and wisdom. What looks like delay is often preparation. What feels like silence is often the time when your foundation is becoming strong enough to support something greater. The woman who continues to grow during difficult seasons positions herself to recognize opportunities that others overlook. Your greatest surprise may not be something that falls into your hands by accident. It may be the incredible person you become while preparing for it. There is extraordinary power hidden within your perspective. Two women can stand in the same room, face the same challenge, and experience completely different futures simply because one sees obstacles while the other sees opportunities. The direction of your life follows the direction of your thinking. If you constantly expect disappointment, your energy begins to match that expectation. But when you train your mind to expect growth, progress, and meaningful opportunities, your attitude changes, your confidence increases, and your actions become intentional. Every remarkable achievement begins as an invisible belief before it becomes a visible reality. This is why you must protect your mindset. Refuse to allow fear, comparison, or criticism to define what you believe is possible. Your future is too valuable to be shaped by temporary emotions. Every day, remind yourself that your current circumstances are only a chapter, not the entire story. Your greatest days are created by the decisions you make today, not by the mistakes you made yesterday. Many women spend years waiting for someone else to discover their value, but true confidence begins when you recognize your own worth. Your gifts are not accidents, your abilities are not random. Every strength you possess has the potential to solve a problem, inspire another person, or create a positive impact. Stop minimizing what makes you unique simply because it looks different from everyone else's abilities. The world benefits when women stop hiding their potential and begin expressing it with confidence and excellence. Your voice matters, your ideas matter, your creativity matters, your leadership matters. Never confuse humility with invisibility. Being humble does not require shrinking yourself. It means using your abilities with integrity while continuing to grow. Every time you develop your skills, increase your knowledge, and strengthen your character, you expand your capacity to receive greater opportunities. The surprises you are waiting for often arrive through the doors opened by your own preparation. Do not become discouraged by seasons when nothing seems to be changing. Growth is often invisible before it becomes undeniable. The tallest trees spend years developing roots before their height becomes impressive. In the same way, your unseen growth is preparing you for visible success. Every lesson learned during difficult moments becomes a resource for future victories. Every challenge you overcome increases your resilience. Every disappointment teaches wisdom that success alone could never provide. Instead of asking why the journey feels difficult, ask what qualities are being developed within you. Patience, discipline, emotional maturity, consistency, and courage are treasures that no one can take away once they become part of your character. The greatest surprise may not simply be an opportunity arriving. It may be discovering that you have become fully capable of handling it with confidence and excellence. Comparison is one of the fastest ways to lose sight of your own purpose. Every woman has a unique journey, a unique pace, and unique opportunities waiting ahead. Looking constantly at someone else's progress blinds you to your own possibilities. Success is not about becoming another person. It is about becoming the highest version of yourself. Celebrate the achievements of others without questioning your own future. Someone else's victory does not reduce your potential. There is room for your success as well. Every season unfolds differently because every purpose develops differently. Instead of asking why someone else is advancing faster, ask how you can become wiser, stronger, and more prepared today. Focus your attention on growth instead of comparison, and you will discover that confidence naturally replaces insecurity. Your words have the power to shape your direction. The conversations you have with yourself every day become the foundation of your confidence. If you repeatedly declare that you are not capable, not qualified, or not enough, your actions will eventually agree with those words. But when you intentionally speak with courage, hope, and determination, you begin strengthening the mindset necessary for meaningful progress. Speak about your future with expectation instead of fear. Speak about your challenges with courage instead of defeat. Speak about your abilities with gratitude instead of doubt. Your words should become reminders of your potential rather than limitations on your future. Every successful woman learns to become her own source of encouragement before expecting encouragement from anyone else. There will always be voices attempting to convince you to settle for less than your potential. Some people will only understand the version of you that remained small because it made them comfortable. Growth often requires leaving behind the expectations that others have placed upon you. Never allow someone else's limited vision to become the boundary of your own future. The people who truly value you will celebrate your progress instead of fearing it. Surround yourself with individuals who challenge you to think bigger, dream higher, and act with greater excellence. Your environment influences your mindset more than you realize. Choose relationships that encourage purpose, discipline, integrity, and continual improvement. A healthy environment does not create your potential, but it certainly helps you develop it. Every surprise in life requires readiness. Imagine receiving an incredible opportunity without the knowledge, discipline, or confidence to sustain it. Preparation transforms opportunities into lasting success. Use every day to learn something new, improve one skill, strengthen one habit, and overcome one weakness. Small improvements made consistently produce extraordinary transformations over time. Never underestimate the power of daily growth. Greatness is rarely created through dramatic moments alone. It is built through ordinary decisions repeated with extraordinary consistency. While others complain about waiting, become the woman who uses waiting as a classroom for development. Most importantly, remember that your season is not defined by the calendar, but by your willingness to embrace growth. The moment you choose courage over fear, action over excuses, discipline over comfort, and purpose over distraction, a new season begins within you. The surprises you seek are often connected to the woman you are becoming. Every challenge you overcome, every lesson you learn, every dream you continue pursuing despite difficulties is shaping a future greater than you can currently imagine. Walk forward with confidence. Expect meaningful opportunities. Stay committed to excellence. Continue developing your character and your abilities. Believe that every day holds new possibilities. Your future is not limited by yesterday's disappointments, but expanded by today's determination. This is your season to rise, to grow, to discover new strengths within yourself, and to embrace the remarkable possibilities waiting just ahead. Every meaningful transformation begins with a decision. Before circumstances change, before opportunities appear, and before anyone else notices a difference in your life, something changes within you. That inner decision is the beginning of a new season. Many people spend years waiting for the perfect moment, believing that life will suddenly become easier before they take the first step. Yet the truth is that a new season rarely announces itself with certainty. It often begins quietly with a renewed sense of purpose, a willingness to believe again, and the courage to move forward despite unanswered questions. This is why you must never allow your current situation to convince you that your future has already been written. Your present reality is only a snapshot of where you are today. It is not a permanent description of where you are capable of going. Every woman who has accomplished something remarkable first chose to believe that her future could be greater than her past. There is a remarkable difference between simply existing and living with expectation. Existing means waking up each day assuming tomorrow will look exactly like yesterday. Living with expectation means approaching each day believing that new possibilities can emerge through your choices, your growth, and your determination. Expectation changes the way you think, the way you speak, and the way you respond to challenges. It transforms obstacles into lessons and setbacks into preparation. When you expect your life to improve, you naturally become more attentive to opportunities that others overlook. You begin learning instead of complaining. You begin growing instead of settling. You begin building instead of waiting. Your attitude becomes a magnet for progress because your focus shifts from limitations to possibilities. A woman who lives with expectation carries hope even when results have not yet appeared because she understands that today's effort can become tomorrow's breakthrough. Too often, women allow yesterday's disappointments to become the boundaries of tomorrow's dreams. Perhaps there were moments when your efforts were ignored, your abilities were underestimated, or your confidence was shaken by criticism. Those experiences may have been painful, but they were never meant to become permanent definitions of your identity. Your value cannot be measured by the number of times you faced rejection, nor can your potential be limited by the mistakes you have made. Every challenge carries a lesson, and every lesson strengthens your ability to handle greater responsibility. Instead of asking, "Why did this happen to me?" begin asking, "What has this experience prepared me to do better?" That single change in perspective transforms pain into wisdom and disappointment into determination. The strongest women are not those who never struggled. They are those who refuse to let struggle become their identity. A new season also requires leaving behind old ways of thinking. It is impossible to embrace fresh opportunities while holding tightly to outdated beliefs about yourself. If you continue believing that you are not capable, you will hesitate when opportunities arise. If you continue believing that you are unworthy, you may walk away from doors that were meant for you. Growth begins when you replace limiting beliefs with empowering truths about your potential. Every skill can be improved. Every weakness can become an area of growth. Every failure can become a valuable teacher. Instead of asking whether you are good enough, begin asking how you can become better every single day. Progress is not about perfection. It is about continuous improvement. The woman who commits herself to lifelong learning never stops expanding her possibilities because she understands that every day offers another chance to grow stronger, wiser, and more prepared than she was yesterday. Never underestimate the influence of your daily choices. A new season is not built through one extraordinary moment, but through hundreds of ordinary decisions made with consistency and purpose. The decision to keep learning when others stop. The decision to remain disciplined when distractions increase. The decision to speak with confidence when doubt tries to take control. The decision to rise again after disappointment instead of giving up. These choices may seem small in the moment, but over time they shape your character, strengthen your confidence, and create a future that once seemed impossible. The woman who commits herself to daily growth eventually discovers that what once looked like an impossible dream has become her everyday reality. Every sunrise is another opportunity to begin again with greater wisdom, deeper courage, and renewed determination. Walk into each new day believing that your best chapters are still waiting to be written because the future belongs to those who prepare for it with hope, excellence, and unwavering commitment. One of the greatest mistakes people make is believing that extraordinary opportunities appear without preparation. In reality, life's most meaningful moments often arrive quietly, and only those who have invested in their personal growth are ready to recognize them. Success is rarely about luck. It is far more often the result of consistent preparation meeting the right opportunity. Every day you choose to improve yourself, strengthen your character, develop new skills, and expand your knowledge, you are building a foundation that will support the future you desire. Many people focus only on what they hope to receive, but far fewer ask themselves an important question. Am I becoming the kind of person who can sustain the opportunities I am asking for? That question changes everything. It shifts your attention away from wishful thinking and toward intentional growth. A woman who prepares herself does not fear the future because she knows she has been developing the qualities needed to embrace it with confidence. Preparation begins long before anyone applauds your progress. There will be seasons when your efforts go unnoticed, when your discipline seems invisible, and when it feels as though nothing is changing. Yet these hidden seasons are often the most valuable because they shape the person you are becoming. Just as a strong building depends on a deep and secure foundation, a meaningful life depends on the unseen work that takes place before visible success appears. Every book you read, every lesson you learn, every habit you improve, and every challenge you overcome becomes part of that foundation. While others may only notice the results later, you will know that those results were built through countless moments of commitment and perseverance. Never become discouraged because your progress is not immediately visible. The most lasting achievements are usually the product of patient and consistent preparation. There are opportunities that require more than talent alone. They demand wisdom, emotional maturity, integrity, discipline, and the ability to make sound decisions under pressure. These qualities cannot be developed overnight. They are formed through everyday experiences, especially during moments that test your patience and resilience. Difficult seasons are not interruptions to your journey. They are often the training ground that equips you for greater responsibilities. Every challenge invites you to grow stronger instead of becoming discouraged. Every obstacle teaches problem solving instead of defeat. Every delay gives you additional time to refine your abilities. Rather than asking why progress seems slow, ask what strengths are being developed within you during this season. The woman who embraces growth during difficult moments discovers that challenges are not barriers to success, but preparation for greater opportunities ahead. Preparation also requires the courage to step outside your comfort zone. Growth rarely happens where everything feels familiar and predictable. If you continue doing only what is comfortable, your potential will remain limited by your routines. Every new skill begins with uncertainty. Every significant achievement begins with the willingness to learn something unfamiliar. Do not be afraid of making mistakes while you grow. Mistakes made with a teachable attitude become valuable lessons that increase your wisdom. Confidence is not the absence of uncertainty. It is the willingness to move forward despite it. Each time you stretch beyond your current abilities, you expand your capacity for future success. The woman who continuously challenges herself becomes adaptable, resourceful, and prepared for opportunities that others may avoid because they are unwilling to grow. As you continue preparing, remember that every day is an investment in the future you cannot yet see. The effort you make today may not produce immediate rewards, but it is shaping a tomorrow filled with greater possibilities. Continue refining your character, strengthening your discipline, improving your skills, and nurturing a mindset of excellence. Do not allow impatience to steal the joy of becoming better each day. Celebrate progress, no matter how small, because consistent improvement creates extraordinary transformation over time. When unexpected opportunities finally appear, and they often come without warning, you will not need to scramble to become ready. You will already possess the confidence, wisdom, and ability to step forward with excellence. The greatest surprise is not simply that an opportunity arrives, it is realizing that your daily commitment has quietly prepared you to embrace it, maximize it, and turn it into lasting success. If you'd like, I can also write point 3. Recognize your true worth and potential in the same original, seamless style and length, so the entire speech flows naturally. There comes a point in every woman's journey when she must stop asking the world to define her value and begin discovering it for herself. Your worth is not determined by applause, popularity, titles, possessions, or the approval of those around you. These things may change with time, but genuine value remains constant because it is rooted in who you become, not in what others think about you. Many talented women spend years doubting themselves simply because someone failed to recognize their abilities. They begin to question their intelligence after being overlooked, their beauty after being criticized, or their potential after experiencing failure. Yet another person's inability to recognize your value does not reduce the value you possess. A priceless treasure does not become ordinary because someone fails to appreciate it. In the same way, your abilities, your wisdom, your creativity, and your capacity to make a meaningful difference remain valuable, whether they are immediately recognized or not. The first person who must believe in your potential is you, because confidence built from within is stronger than confidence borrowed from the opinions of others. Every woman carries unique gifts that were never intended to remain hidden. Some have the ability to lead with wisdom, others inspire through compassion, while others solve problems through creativity, innovation, or determination. No two journeys are exactly alike because no two people are designed with identical strengths. The mistake many people make is comparing their abilities with someone else's and assuming that different means inferior. In reality, difference is often the source of your greatest contribution. The world does not need another copy of someone else. It needs the best version of you. Stop measuring your progress against another person's timeline and start investing in the abilities that make you uniquely equipped to create positive change. Every skill you develop becomes another tool for making an impact. Every talent you refine becomes another opportunity to serve, influence, and inspire. The more you embrace your uniqueness, the more confidently you step into opportunities that are perfectly suited to your strengths. Recognizing your worth also means refusing to settle for less than your potential. Too many women remain in environments that constantly diminish their confidence because they have convinced themselves that they are not capable of achieving more. Limiting beliefs often become invisible barriers, preventing people from pursuing opportunities they are fully capable of embracing. Imagine an eagle spending its entire life believing it was created only to walk because it never discovered its ability to soar. Its wings would remain strong, but its thinking would keep it grounded. In the same way, many dreams remain unrealized, not because of a lack of ability, but because of a lack of belief. The moment you begin seeing yourself through the lens of possibility instead of limitation, your decisions begin to change. You become willing to learn, to lead, to explore new opportunities, and to accept challenges that once seemed impossible. Confidence grows each time you act in alignment with the person you are capable of becoming, rather than the fears that try to hold you back. True confidence is never loud, arrogant, or dependent on comparison. It is quiet, steady, and rooted in continual growth. A confident woman does not need to diminish others to feel significant because she understands that success is not a competition for limited space. She celebrates the achievements of others while remaining committed to her own journey. She understands that every person's path unfolds at a different pace and that lasting success comes through consistency rather than comparison. Instead of seeking validation, she seeks improvement. Instead of proving herself to everyone, she focuses on becoming better than she was yesterday. This mindset creates resilience because it shifts attention away from external approval and toward internal excellence. The more you invest in your character, your knowledge, your discipline, and your emotional maturity, the more naturally confidence becomes part of your daily life. Lasting self-belief is built through repeated acts of growth, learning, and perseverance. Never underestimate the influence that one confident woman can have on the people around her. When you recognize your worth, you give others permission to recognize theirs as well. Your courage encourages someone else to take their first step. Your perseverance reminds another woman not to give up. Your commitment to excellence inspires those who are watching, even when you do not realize they are paying attention. Every time you choose growth over fear, purpose over comfort, and confidence over doubt, you create a ripple effect that extends far beyond your own life. Continue investing in yourself, refining your abilities, strengthening your character, and believing in the value you possess. The opportunities ahead are not waiting for a perfect woman. They are waiting for a woman who is willing to develop her gifts with excellence, embrace her unique purpose with confidence, and move forward each day knowing that her greatest contribution to the world begins with recognizing the remarkable potential that has been within her all along. One of the greatest obstacles standing between a woman and her extraordinary future is not a lack of talent or opportunity, it is fear. Fear has a remarkable ability to make capable people underestimate themselves. It whispers that you should wait a little longer, that you are not experienced enough, that someone else is more qualified, or that failure will define you forever. If you listen to those whispers long enough, they begin to sound like truth, even though they are only assumptions. Fear rarely announces itself dramatically. It often appears disguised as hesitation, procrastination, self-doubt, or the desire to remain comfortable. Yet every meaningful achievement requires stepping beyond the boundaries of what feels safe. Growth has never been found inside the walls of comfort. Every woman who has accomplished something significant reached a moment when she chose courage over certainty. Courage does not eliminate fear. It simply refuses to let fear become the decision maker. The moment you stop allowing fear to control your choices is the moment your possibilities begin to expand. Another invisible barrier that quietly steals confidence is comparison. In today's world, it is easy to look at someone else's achievements and begin questioning your own progress. You see another woman succeeding, advancing, or reaching goals that you are still working toward, and suddenly your own journey begins to feel insignificant. But comparison creates an unfair competition because you are measuring your beginning against someone else's middle, or your private struggles against another person's public victories. Every person carries unseen challenges, lessons, and experiences that shape their unique path. Your journey was never designed to be identical to anyone else's. Instead of asking why another woman is ahead, ask whether you are becoming better than you were yesterday. Real progress is measured by personal growth, not by someone else's timeline. The woman who remains focused on developing her own abilities will always move farther than the woman who constantly measures herself against others. Limiting beliefs are equally dangerous because they create invisible walls around your potential. Many people are held back not by circumstances, but by the stories they continue telling themselves. Statements like, "I have always been this way," "people like me never succeed," or "I am not smart enough," become mental barriers that influence every decision. Your mind will rarely allow you to pursue a future that you do not believe is possible. That is why you must become intentional about replacing limiting beliefs with empowering ones. Every time you learn a new skill, overcome a challenge, or accomplish something you once thought impossible, you collect evidence that your potential is greater than your fears. Instead of allowing past disappointments to define your future expectations, allow present growth to redefine what you believe you can achieve. Your beliefs shape your choices shape your habits, and your habits ultimately shape your future. Change begins the moment you choose to believe that your potential is still unfolding. Choosing freedom from fear and comparison also requires surrounding yourself with voices that encourage growth rather than doubt. The people you spend time with influence your thinking more than you may realize. If you are constantly surrounded by negativity, criticism, and discouragement, it becomes difficult to maintain confidence and vision. On the other hand, when you build relationships with people who challenge you to grow, celebrate your progress, and encourage excellence, your perspective begins to change. Seek conversations that inspire learning, wisdom, integrity, and purpose. Be willing to distance yourself from environments that constantly drain your confidence or convince you to settle for less than you are capable of becoming. Protect your mind with the same care that you protect your most valuable possessions, because your thoughts are the birthplace of every decision you make. A healthy environment cannot replace your determination, but it can strengthen your commitment to becoming the best version of yourself. As you continue moving forward, remember that confidence is built one courageous decision at a time. Every time you speak up, despite uncertainty, every time you pursue a new opportunity, despite the possibility of failure, every time you continue learning instead of giving up, you weaken the grip that fear once had over your life. Do not wait until you feel completely ready before taking action, because confidence grows through experience, not through waiting. Refuse to compare your progress with anyone else, and refuse to allow limiting beliefs to dictate the size of your dreams. Walk forward with your attention fixed on your own growth, your own purpose, and your own daily improvement. The remarkable future ahead of you will not be determined by the fears you once carried, but by the courageous choices you make from this day forward. Every step taken with faith in your potential, every lesson embraced with humility, and every challenge faced with determination moves you closer to becoming the woman who inspires others, simply by refusing to let fear, comparison, or self-imposed limits define the story of her life. A remarkable future is never created by hope alone. It is built through purposeful action. Dreams are powerful because they give direction, but dreams without action remain only wishes. Every woman who desires to experience extraordinary change must understand that each day presents an opportunity to move one step closer to the life she envisions. You do not have to accomplish everything at once, nor do you need to have every answer before you begin. What matters most is your willingness to keep moving forward. Progress is achieved through consistent decisions that align with your goals rather than your temporary emotions. There will be days when motivation feels strong and days when it feels absent. But lasting success belongs to those who continue taking meaningful action regardless of how they feel. Discipline has the ability to carry you farther than motivation because it transforms good intentions into daily habits. Every small action you take today becomes another brick in the foundation of the future you are creating. Many people spend years waiting for the perfect opportunity while overlooking the opportunities already within their reach. They believe that one extraordinary moment will suddenly change everything, yet meaningful transformation often begins with simple, intentional actions repeated consistently over time. A conversation that expands your perspective, a book that increases your knowledge, a new skill you choose to learn, or a courageous decision to step beyond your comfort zone may appear small in the moment, but these seemingly ordinary choices often produce extraordinary results. Never underestimate the value of steady progress. Great accomplishments are rarely the result of one dramatic breakthrough. They are usually the outcome of countless faithful decisions made day after day. Every sunrise offers another opportunity to improve, to learn, and to become stronger than you were yesterday. The woman who respects the power of daily progress eventually discovers that consistent effort creates remarkable outcomes. Walking forward with expectation also requires maintaining a positive outlook when immediate results are not visible. There will be seasons when your efforts seem unnoticed and your progress feels slower than you hoped. During these moments, it is tempting to become discouraged and question whether your work is making any difference. Yet the most meaningful growth often takes place beneath the surface before it becomes visible to everyone else. Consider how a seed develops underground, long before anyone sees signs of life above the soil. Its unseen growth is essential to its future strength. In the same way, your unseen discipline, learning, perseverance, and personal development are preparing you for opportunities that have not yet arrived. Refuse to measure your future only by today's circumstances. Instead, measure it by the person you are becoming through every challenge you overcome and every lesson you embrace. The work you are doing today is creating possibilities that tomorrow will reveal. As you continue your journey, remember that your attitude determines how you respond to every opportunity that comes your way. A woman who expects growth approaches challenges with curiosity instead of fear, setbacks with resilience instead of defeat, and uncertainty with confidence instead of hesitation. She understands that every experience contains something valuable to learn. Rather than complaining about closed doors, she prepares herself for the next one that opens. Rather than allowing temporary disappointments to weaken her determination, she uses them as motivation to become wiser, stronger, and more capable. She celebrates every step of progress because she knows that lasting success is built gradually. Her confidence does not come from believing that life will always be easy. It comes from knowing that she has developed the character, discipline, and perseverance to overcome whatever challenges may arise. This mindset transforms obstacles into opportunities for growth and ordinary days into opportunities for extraordinary development. As you move into the days ahead, carry with you the expectation that every moment holds the potential for new possibilities. Wake up each morning with a commitment to become a little wiser, a little stronger, a little more disciplined, and a little more courageous than the day before. Continue investing in your character, refining your abilities, strengthening your confidence, and expanding your vision. Refuse to allow fear, doubt, or past disappointments to dictate the direction of your future. Let your actions consistently reflect the woman you are becoming rather than the circumstances you have overcome. The journey toward an extraordinary life is not defined by giant leaps, but by faithful steps taken with purpose every single day. Keep moving forward with confidence, remain committed to excellence even when no one is watching, and never stop believing that your greatest opportunities often arrive after your greatest preparation. When determination, character, consistent action, and unwavering expectation come together, what once seemed impossible begins to unfold naturally, and you discover that the most remarkable surprises in life often find those who never stopped growing, never stopped believing, and never stopped moving forward with purpose. As we come to the end of this message, remember that the greatest surprise you will ever experience is not merely a change in your circumstances, it is the transformation that takes place within you. When you begin to see yourself differently, you begin to live differently. When you choose purpose over fear, growth over comfort, discipline over excuses, and confidence over doubt, you create the conditions for extraordinary possibilities to unfold. Your future is not waiting for luck, perfect timing, or someone else's permission. It is waiting for the woman who is willing to rise every day with determination, strengthen her character, develop her gifts, and refuse to settle for less than her potential.